would we do anything unfair to our opponents? Stacks of gas. It's so much fun. And we're going to play... Oh, jeez. We drew that too. So this still enters play tapped under Blood Moon, so we're going to get that out here. Opponent played a Bloodstained Mire. Opponent played a fetch land on one, so I'm assuming, unless he's mono red as well, oh, Flooded Strand. It's unfortunate. How is he going to cast all of his spells? Seething Song? Seething Song? I might just cast the Simian Spirit Guide next turn. Back up, Blood Moon. Sure. Why not? So, important interaction people should note. City of Traders does not sacrifice while it's a mountain under Blood Moon. Just doesn't have any text other than non-basic mountain. Opponent just said in chat, yeah, I'm pretty dead. I mean, well, you know, we did have the turn 1 Blood Moon. You could say we outplayed him. Lands? Mana Source? Seething Song. Now, the real question here is, do I breach or just cast the Worm Coil? I think I just want to cast the Worm Coil. And the upside to playing through the breach is that if he's drawn into force, he'd have to force the breach, and then we'd still have Worm Coil in our hand. Right now, if he forces this, we don't have a threat, but he's pretty locked out, so it just really doesn't matter. Yeah, nice lands, nerd. I bet his deck's way more expensive than the one I'm playing. I don't know why he's still playing Magic. He knows what we're doing. There are no secrets between us, friends. What do we board like here? I don't know what has these fetch lands. I'm assuming he must be some kind of fair creature deck. Like a Deathrite Shaman deck is what I'm assuming. So I'm putting him on a fair creature deck, I think, which maybe I just don't board. I usually cut... Actually, I was told to cut Seething Songs and bring in Trinisphere against Delver decks. So I think that's what I'm doing. I think I'm going to put him on Delver in the dark. Even if he's on, like, Shardless Bug, Trinisphere is still reasonable there. So basically, you just want to be slightly slower and more consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. Lotus Petal under Rituals could have been an issue. Yep. So yeah, that's why I think like the hedge that it's Delver or the hedge that it's Storm means Trinisphere is reasonable to board in. So, and like there aren't really many decks in the format like Mud, and he's obviously not playing Mud, where like Trinisphere is worse for us than it is for him because it just doesn't do anything. So I think boarding in Trinisphere is a good call. The duels on Moto actually aren't that much. It's cards like Wasteland and Rishadan Port and Force of Will that are expensive on Magic Online. Keep. Sand does stuff. See if there's a basic island in here. Nope, so probably Delver. Duress, he is on Storm. Sweet. And we have 2 hate cards here, so this is phenomenal. So Duress definitely means Storm. Where's my This Is Fine dog? This deck is hilarious. Yep, he just said well in chat. So he's definitely on Storm. So heads up play bringing in the Trinispheres. Good job, Hoogland. The question is, do we put the Chalice on 1 or 0? I almost want to just slide the Chalice out on 0. If he doesn't play out any 0s here, I think I'm putting it on 0. Hopefully we just draw another 3-ball here. Or a Blood Moon. Alright, so we hit that. I think I want to just put Chalice on 0 and play my Mountain out. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Every time I put Chalice on 1 against Storm, I wish it would have been 0. So So I think putting this on 0 is fine. And then in all honesty, depending on like what we draw here, I might just play City and cast Simian Spirit Guide. The only sideboarding difference here, turns off Brainstorm, Ponder, Probe Chain. Yeah. So this prevents him from actually winning the game, though. Putting it on 1 basically just turns off his selection. This stops him from actually like LED pedaling, killing us. So the only other card I want to board in different now that we know it's Storm is that Magus of the Moon is good in this matchup. Chalice on 0 turns off Lotus Petal and LED. You need LED in order to cast your Infernal Tutors. After this game, my littlest planeswalker just fell asleep on my lap while I'm sitting here. So after this match, I'm gonna take a 30-second break and run him upstairs and put him in his crib. Precious little guy. And he does have all these cantrips here, but again, he needs to get rid of this before he can combo us generally. So I like putting this on 0. Hopefully we just draw Sneak Attack next turn. Lotus Petal. Oh, Chalice stops our Lotus Petals. That's sad. Yeah, I'm just going to cast Simian Spirit Guide. Put him on a clock. Good morning, Namichel. Welcome. We're going to play some Legacy this morning, and then later this afternoon we're going to play some Standard with Black-White. We could die here. Okay, we got recalled, and he's therapying us now. Good, we can play our Lotus Petal. That's so nice of him. Are we going to die? I feel like he wouldn't be playing Cabal Therapy if we were about to die. So if we draw another Chalice here, I'm actually going to put the next Chalice on 2, I think. Ooh, he's going to take my Lotus Petal away? I think I'd take my Lotus Petal here. Wormcoil Engine. Alright, he just thinks that's the one I'm closest to casting. I hope I just, like, draw Sneak Attack and punish him for that. That's funny. Alright, well, we'll play this. He's only got 2 cards in his hand, so... I'd have taken my Lotus Petal because my hand was all threats, and you need to turn off my mana, because mana is what I'm looking to draw here. That's why I would take my Lotus Petal. That's cute. That's interesting. There is a link to the Black-White list we will be considering playing underneath the stream. So many fatties. So we're actually only an Ancient Tomb or City of Traders away from casting the Wormcoil Engine, so... which is relevant. Tutor for Ritual, sure. So now this is actually an interesting decision point. Do I just play out the second Spirit Guide here? So, like, what's the upside to holding the Spirit Guide? If we draw through the breach or sneak attack, he dies. The downside is that we could just put him on a straight 3-turn clock. Yeah, I think I like holding it. We have eight draws this way. And it's like 8 draws in the game. This like makes what our actual clock is a little bit of a surprise here. He might think he has more time than he actually does. All right, so playing out Lotus Petal, so we're probably dead. Do your thing, bud. So he's getting casting ad nauseam here. Pass Flames possibly. Empty for a bunch. Sure. This doesn't actually kill us though. And now I'll probably play this Simian Spirit Guide if we brick here. Or we can just draw Sneak Attack and kill him. Sounds good. Rewarded. Never forget, the Magic is a skill game where the better player always wins. GG's opponent. GG's. This deck's just too funny. Alright, I'm going to run upstairs really quick and put my son into his crib because he is asleep here on my lap, and then I'll be right back. At 250 people, that's awesome. I hope you'll wait a couple of seconds while I be right back. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cue it up. Wick, the only thing I would have done differently from your side of the table is the turn when you Cabal Therapied my Worm Coil when you knew what our hand was, I would have taken the Lotus Petal away from us because our hand was full of threats, but it was short on mana. How's it going, Swirls? So we're now 2-0, 4-0 in games. Won a die roll. Winning die rolls is really good with this deck. So what does this hand do? This hand plays Sandstone on 1, plays Sneak Attack on 2, and puts a World Spine Worm into play. So sounds great. Can't lose. Oh, you get Wastelanded on 1. Dodge, Wasteland, Counter Magic, discard spell. Opponent dies. Hopefully he's playing something like Elves or like... Yeah, hopefully he's playing Elves. The Brola Bear, welcome. As always, big thanks to all the subs. You guys are the ones that keep us going. So, let's through the breach. Ah, it's so good. So, I'm going to play Lotus Petal. And I'm going to through the breach since we drew that. We're probably getting Spell Pierced regardless, and I'd rather have the Sneak Attack left over. Yep, we got Spell Pierced. A Brainstorm. Oh, that's good for us. The only upside to playing Sneak Attack as opposed to Through the Breaching is we can pay for a Daze. Basic Island doesn't usually indicate a Daze deck. Daze decks are usually on mostly non-basic lands.